With Nintendo's E3 just around the corner, I wanted to go over the biggest rumors along with everything we know so far about what we could potentially see at Nintendo's Direct this year. While there are some things that have already been announced that we do know about for sure, many things still remain rumors or have been vaguely hinted at by developers. If you are new to the channel and enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as I release videos. With that said, let's get into it. Nintendo's Direct will start at 12 PM on June 15th and will feature a 40-minute Direct followed by 3 hours of gameplay shown off at a Nintendo Treehouse. With almost 4 hours of new content, there's a lot we could potentially see. So I figured we could take a look at all of Nintendo's biggest franchises and see what potentially could be announced at E3 this year. There are a ton of leaks and rumors, and like with anything, the vast majority of them are most likely false or just educated guesses, so I'm only going to include some of the bigger ones that at least seem fairly plausible. And like anything else with rumors involved, take everything with a grain of salt. There's a ton to go over as we will be looking at all of the major active Nintendo franchises, so I'm going to have to move at a pretty brisk pace. Let's start off with the elephant in the room, the Switch Pro. It was heavily rumored that it would be announced before E3 this year, but at this point, that does not seem to be happening. I did a full video on why they might have delayed the announcement that I will link in the description box down below, but it does seem unlikely that it will be revealed during the Nintendo Direct. Nintendo came out and said their E3 will be focused on software, and I imagine they said that just to temper fans' expectations. Now, it's always possible that they were just saying that to try and surprise people, and assuming the Switch Pro is real, I doubt they were too thrilled that its existence got leaked before their big announcement. Most large corporations like to control their marketing, and they pay obscene amounts of money to have people manage their image and control their PR. When their potentially biggest announcement gets leaked beforehand, I can see them getting annoyed and want to try and regain control of their own narrative. So, while it's possible, I would not assume it's going to be revealed just so you don't get your hopes up. I was actually really looking forward to a Switch Pro, so I'm going to have to assume it's not going to be announced at E3 this year just for my own sanity. I'm fairly certain we will either see a new trailer or some new gameplay shown at the Treehouse for Mario Golf Super Rush. It's coming out in just a few weeks, and it seems to be the big summer game for Nintendo, so I am sure they'll want to show it off. Personally, I thought it looked really interesting with a Rush Golf mode, career mode, and the ability to level up your Mii character stats. It just looks like a really fun game, and if I do end up buying it, I'll definitely do a review for it. There's been some rumblings about Mario Kart 9, but I don't know. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still selling better than hotcakes, so I would assume Nintendo would want to wait till sales start to really slow down before announcing a new game, even if 9 is far along in its development. Moving along to the Zelda franchise, we actually have the potential to see multiple games shown off. Skyward Sword HD is coming out next month, and I know a lot of people are interested in seeing how the revamped controls will work with the Switch Pro controller. That leads me to believe that we might get to see some gameplay during the Treehouse so everyone can see how it works. It's hard to believe, but Breath of the Wild 2 was announced 2 years ago now and has been in production for quite a while. We did, however, get confirmation from the game's director during the Nintendo Direct in February this year that we will get more information on the game later this year, and he asked that we wait just a bit longer. I'm still unsure if we will see anything during this E3 though, as we have seen multiple rumors telling us that there are additional Zelda HD remasters in the works for the Switch. This makes me think that we might have a Zelda Direct later this summer showing off all of those games, assuming the rumor is true. If that is the case, then we could see a short teaser trailer during E3, then a much longer showing during the Zelda Direct later this year. Personally, I really think they should show off some gameplay, as that would absolutely steal the show and would have Nintendo dominate E3 headlines. If they do put it in the presentation, it will most likely be the last thing we see during the Direct, and I don't think we will see anything during the Treehouse because they will want to focus on Skyward Sword. All that being said, there is a rumor going around reported on by Spawnwave and corroborated by Jeff Grubb that GameStop is preparing for something Zelda related on the day of Nintendo's E3 Direct. The speculation is that people will be rushing to stores to pre-order either a Legend of Zelda themed Nintendo Switch or Breath of the Wild 2. It certainly is possible we will get a release date for Breath of the Wild 2 at E3 this year. After I wrote this, I found out that there is an exclusive poster being given away with Skyward Sword orders at GameStop, so that could have been the actual Zelda thing, but who knows. While the Pokemon franchise's own directs, I do think we will see a decent amount of gameplay for Diamond and Pearl remakes during the Treehouse. As of right now, unless some unknown game is announced for the holiday season this year, they are the big holiday releases for Nintendo this year. As far as Pokemon Arceus goes, if anything, we might get maybe a slightly longer trailer, but I wouldn't expect to see too much. They'll want to focus on Diamond and Pearl, and I think we will have to wait till a Pokemon Direct later this year to see more of Arceus. That being said, I would love to see more details on the game, as I'm really curious to see all the new mechanics that will be in the game. And even though we might not see too much of it at E3, it is still coming out in January, so expect to not have to wait too much longer to find out more about it. Another big game we do know about is Splatoon 3, and I have seen some people speculate that we will see more of it at E3 this year. I'm not so sure myself. It's supposed to be releasing in 2022 and could end up being the big holiday title for that year. So while that's certainly possible we will get another short trailer, I think we will have to wait till next year to really find out more about it. Shin Megami Tensei 5 was announced as a Switch exclusive 4 years ago, and we've seen radio silence in the game since 2020 when we got a small trailer. That wasn't until a Japanese website leaked the game just a few days ago, and now it's been officially announced to be released this year according to the game's official website. Right now, the website only contains a trailer from last year and an open release date for 2021, so I do expect that we will see some new content at Nintendo's E3. Especially with the HD remaster that came out recently, I'm sure Sega wants to capitalize on the increased attention to the series, and nothing would do that more than have it being part of Nintendo's E3 presentation. It's a series that I absolutely want to try out, and once I finish playing the million games in my backlog, I do want to check it out. While it won't be happening during Nintendo's presentation, there will be a focus on Monster Hunter Rise during Capcom's event on June 14th. If you are a fan of the series, they will also be going over Monster Hunter Stories 2, which is the RPG spin-off of the Monster Hunter series. Bayonetta 3 has been quiet for quite some time now. A developer working on the game did vaguely hint that something could come out later this year, but that's all we really have to go on. My best guess is that they might be targeting a release for later this year, but with the pandemic slowing everything down, they don't want to say anything definitive till they are sure the game can be released. It was announced at the Game Awards back in 2017, so even with a slowdown, the game should be nearing the end of its development, and if we do not see anything at this E3, I wouldn't be surprised to see something about it in the next Direct later this year. Metroid Prime 4 is another game that we've all seen endless speculation over, and for good reason. While we do know exists, at least probably, it's very unclear if we will see anything at E3 this year about it. While development started in 2017, the project was found to not live up to Nintendo's standards, and production restarted in 2019 by Rare. Since then, Rare has gone on a hiring binge of some of the absolute best and most talented people in the gaming industry. Considering the talent they have working for them now, my best guess is that Metroid Prime 4 will have a AAA blockbuster budget, which typically means development time can take quite a while. It's only been 2 years since the restart, and for a game of this caliber, I would imagine the production time will be in the 3 to 5 year range, but it really depends on how many assets from the scrapped original development team they can reuse. If they were starting completely from scratch, I wouldn't expect to see anything from the game until next year at the earliest, but if they were able to reuse some assets, then it's possible we could see a short trailer this E3 with a release window for next year. Although considering the pandemic has slowed down game development, I'm leaning on the side that we will not see anything from the game this year. At best, maybe they'll just assure us that they are still working on the game, or something like that. There's potential to see a new Kirby announcement this year, as the game's developers teased that a new game could potentially be coming to the Switch. I could absolutely see a new game being announced this year, as the last major game was released 3 years ago, so Kirby fans could be in for a treat. Donkey Kong also has seen a few rumors that there will be a new game. They come from a leaker that has been correct in the past, but also has been wrong as well. Without anything too concrete, I'm not sure we'll see anything. But this is Nintendo, so anything is possible, you never know. One game series I definitely think we will see something from is Fire Emblem. I made a whole video on the topic, which I'll link in the description box down below, but essentially Intelligent Systems has a pretty steady track record when it comes to Fire Emblem releases. It's been 2 years since Three Houses came out, and I do think we could see a remake of an older game get announced for the Switch. Fire Emblem is one of my favorite Nintendo franchises, so I really hope we see something. We have seen multiple rumors, although some have been proven false, so it's still up in the air if we'll see anything or not, although like I said, I do really think something will get announced. There's still 2 more fighters that need to be revealed for Smash Bros., and I'm pretty sure we'll see at least one of them get revealed. There's been rumors and speculation involving every character under the sun, so it's really hard to predict who will be revealed. There was a rumor that a Breath of the Wild character will be coming to Smash that went along with the Breath of the Wild 2 rumor, and I could certainly see that being a possibility. This actually segues me perfectly to the next game, as they could make it a cross-promotion with Age of Calamity DLC. It was announced in the last Direct, and the first pack is supposed to be coming out in June, so I would be absolutely shocked if we didn't see a short trailer showing off what will be in the first wave of DLC. The second wave comes out in November, so chances are that we could get a teaser for that as well. I really enjoyed the game and wouldn't mind an excuse to play it again. I just wish it ran better. If only I had a Switch Pro to play it on. And that's basically it as far as major releases go. Yes, there's more franchises that have been dormant for some time that we could see from, but it would be pure wild guesses on my part if I speculated on them. There's of course smaller games that are confirmed that we will most likely see, but we'd be here all day if I went over all of them, although I do think we will see more from some of the Square Enix Switch exclusives during the Direct. And of course, there's a million other supposed leaks and rumors, but the ones I went with seem to be the most plausible. I'm sure there will be plenty of announcements that are genuine surprises, and Nintendo's E3 show is the one I'm looking forward to the most along with Microsoft's, because I do expect them to put on a good show as well. Who knows, maybe we'll finally get the announcement for the heavily rumored Game Pass on Switch. Be sure to let me know down in the comments what Nintendo franchise you would like to see a new game from. And if you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll be covering anything interesting that comes out of E3, and I will certainly be going over everything Nintendo announces as well. Thanks so much for watching, I'll see you all in the next video.